reservoir. They bring them in, they're not native to Kauai. They'll raise them in that rectangular tank down there. We also have one military base here. See all those white buildings way off to our left out there grouped together? That's Barking Sands Naval Base. There's a few white buildings to the right of it, a little more loosely spaced. That's something called the Pacific Missile Range. We lost a bunch of trees up ahead of us here. This happened about 4 years ago. This is because of a forest fire. So about a year and a half ago, they cleared out these dead trees here. It used to be eucalyptus. Within the last 4 or 5 months, we've had 4 big forest fires here, all in really remote areas. All had to be put out by helicopter. Another thing you'll notice up here is a lot of dirt roads. With the exception of that area where they did the logging for those dead trees, the rest of these are hunting roads. People hunt black-tailed deer, goat, wild boar, pig, pheasant, turkey, everything but the chickens. It turns out we're the only island with no mongoose. There's no predator here. 61 degrees now. Over on Maui in the Big Island, it gets cold enough over there in the winter, it'll snow sometimes. That's a tracking station to our left. They use that with the Pacific Missile Range. In fact, it's the only paved road you're going to see in this area. That's how you get down there. It's almost right ahead of us here. If you want a little bit of a longer trail up in the canyon, but something with a nice payoff, try the one called Nuololo. That trail ends up on the edge of that cliff straight ahead of us. But if you go all the way to the point where you reach a metal fence, that's an amazing view down the coastline. This is one of these trails that I hardly ever see more than 2-3 people a day on it. Again, trail is going to be right on the edge of this cliff coming up. It ends a little further to our left here where it looks like the trees open up a little bit down there. So as we start to cross over this ridgeline here, just take a look around you, and here she comes. Welcome to Napali. There's a beautiful reef down to our left here called Nuololo Kai. Smaller boats, when they come out here, love to snorkel that spot. Always seems to be a lot of sea turtles hanging out down there. See if anybody's down there yet. Not yet. So what we'll do first is head into a valley called Honopu. Same name as that beach closest to us right now. It can be reached, but only during the summer. Only by swimming to it. Known to be Hawaiian burial grounds. It's also called Valley of the Kings. I think you'll figure out pretty quickly why it's one of my favorites too. So the reason I love this valley is we get towards the back. I want you to look way back to your left here in a moment, like you're going to be looking out towards the ocean. And take a look at this view coming up. Don't forget to look up around here too. These are pretty unique cliffs called fluted cliffs. Sometimes referred to as cathedrals. Stretches up about 4,000 feet right here. That larger beach approaching to our right, that's Kalalau. That's where the Na Pali Trail ends. So 22 miles round trip. It takes about 9 hours one way. What you see a lot in the summertime is people will paddle to it. It's a lot faster. It's the only time of year the water's calm enough. It's too rough right now. This is Kalalau Valley. So here's the valley you look into when you drive to the end of the road up in the canyon. There's been a guy living in this valley now 15 years. He's basically squatting the valley, living off the land, totally illegal. There's actually a trail that runs along the contour of that ridgeway back there too, called the Pahia Trail. Super easy. It's very scenic if it's clear.
Also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the mystic.
I'll try and show you what this Na Pali Trail looks like too. Keep in mind some parts of the trail are only about 8 inches, so what you're going to see may seem narrow to you, but it's actually one of the wider parts of the trail. Part of it, see that pinnacle down low to our left there with a red hill next to it? That's part of it right there. It's like a big switchback going down the hill. It's exactly what they call it, Red Hill. Almost 10 miles into it right there.
And where that foghorn blows.
And I think if you look straight down to your right, you'll see the trail on the edge of the cliff below you there. It's just a line zigzagging back and forth right there. There's 2 people on their way out, 2 o'clock low, 3 o'clock low now. Yep. So this is the easy part of the trail. The hard part, you should check it out online later on. There's a bunch of videos about it. It's a place called Crawler's Ledge. Also been referred to as Cryer's Ledge. Still see the trail down to our left though. See that narrow line going right past that little sea cave down there? That's it. Sits anywhere from 300 to 500 feet off the water down there. Nobody kayaks in Na Pali during the winter here, and the reason for this is because the waves are too big. You're talking 15 to 25 foot waves on average, although last winter it happened twice. The waves on Na Pali out here, they reached 50 feet. People went surfing every day, makes no difference. Waves that big, it basically turns these little sea caves you might see around here into cannons. And this water's about 40 feet deep here almost immediately.
You know I will be coming home. And when that foghorn whistle blows, I gotta hear it. I don't have to fear it, and I wanna rock your gypsy soul.
See that beach way up ahead of us? That's K-E. It's where the road ends on the North Shore, Highway 56. That's a great sunset. Sometimes nice snorkeling. Depends on the waves, but it's lifeguarded. They'll let you know. On a Kapiai, that little beach to your right, which there may not be much beach left right now, is the first 2 miles of the Na Pali Trail. Take you about an hour to get there. You never want to swim there despite what you might see. That's actually one of the most dangerous rip currents on the island. Nearly 1,000 drownings just there. Ke Beach, if you do go up here, make sure you get to that beach pretty early. After about 8:30 in the morning, it's pretty near impossible to find parking up here. See, if you look into the water to our left, those dark spots you see down there, that's the coral. The light spots are sand. So you can see you're straight to the bottom, 40 feet, no problem. See how nice Ke Beach is though? The shape of the coral kind of creates a little lagoon like that. Let's see if we can change up the perspective here a little bit. So if we swing around right here, we can look back down the Na Pali coastline about 11 miles. I think you'll appreciate this view coming up.